In this video, I'll be going over how to send Grin to and receive Grin from TradeOgre using a Ledger hardware wallet. I already have Ledger Live Desktop open with a Grin account that has some Grin, and I'll start by sending some Grin from it to TradeOgre. I'll open TradeOgre in a web browser and go to my account's balances. Then I'll search for Grin and click on its deposit option. And here's where I'll need to enter a sleep pack for TradeOgre to receive. Now I'll go back to Ledger Live Desktop and click on the Send option. I'll select which account to send from, and I'll choose to send as file. It'll show a warning about how this transaction won't have a payment proof. I'll proceed anyway. Then I'll enter the amount of Grin to send. In this case, I'm sending half a Grin. Here I can see the amount I'm sending, what the fee will be, and how much the total will be. I'll be shown the sleep pack to give to the recipient and be asked for the sleep pack response. I'll copy the sleep pack from Ledger Live Desktop and enter it into TradeOgre. Then I'll copy the sleep pack response from TradeOgre and enter it into Ledger Live Desktop. After that, I'll need to approve sending the transaction on my hardware wallet to continue. The hardware wallet will display the transaction's amount, fee, kernel features, and recipient payment proof address if used. I'll approve sending the transaction on my hardware wallet to finish sending the payment. And that's how to send Grin to TradeOgre using a Ledger hardware wallet. In Ledger Live Desktop, I can view the transaction's details, including its amount, fee, number of confirmations, ID, and kernel access. In TradeOgre, I can also view the transaction's details. Now I'll send some Grin from TradeOgre to Ledger Live Desktop. TradeOgre requires that a Grin payment has 30 confirmations before it can be sent, so I'll skip ahead to when the transaction has that many confirmations. In TradeOgre, I can see that the transaction has the required number of confirmations now. So to send that Grin, I'll go to my account's balances and click on the Withdraw option for Grin. Then I'll enter the amount of Grin to send. Then I'll enter my two-factor authentication code. Now I'll be shown a sleep pack to give to the recipient and be asked for a sleep pack response. So I'll copy the sleep pack from TradeOgre and click on the Receive option in Ledger Live Desktop. I'll choose the account to receive to. I'll be prompted to verify my account's sleep pack address. This transaction isn't using sleep pack addresses, so it doesn't matter for this transaction. Now I'll enter the sleep pack that I copied from TradeOgre into Ledger Live Desktop. After that, I'll need to approve receiving the transaction on my hardware wallet to continue. The hardware wallet will display the transaction's amount, fee, kernel features, and sender payment proof address if used. I'll approve receiving the transaction on my hardware wallet. Then I'll copy the Slateback response from Ledger Live Desktop and enter it into TradeOgre to finish receiving the payment. In Ledger Live Desktop, I can view the transaction's details like before. And I'll skip ahead to once the payment is confirmed. In Ledger Live Desktop, I can see the transaction from when I sent Grin to TradeOgre, and the transaction from when I received Grin from TradeOgre. And that's how to send Grin to and receive Grin from TradeOgre using a Ledger hardware wallet.